Good to see you. So great to be here. Got a big surprise. I was setting everything up, and Faryl just walked in and said, "Hey, I'm here." I'm like, "Yes, you are." Always fun to have kind of face-to-face in person with our dearest Faryl. So give us some background.
Sure.
About who are you, where did you come from, and how did you get into real estate?
Okay, so I grew up in the Valley here in Tarzana, and I come from a big history and background in sales and marketing. And I have a cousin who's also with Keller Williams. He's very Kellerized. And in his first year, he closed 18 transactions. And he said, "Don't even question it. Just go to your nearest Keller Williams office. Don't shop around. Just go and sign up." So I did just that, and signed up at a different Keller Williams office, and had been at that office for a long time, and started my career in real estate.
Yeah.
And right away, I knew Keller Williams was my home. You know, I really I drank the Kool-Aid from the very beginning. And joining Keller Williams wasn't just about being in real estate. It was really about a lot of personal growth over the last 10 years.
Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it, you know, just eye-opening about who you can be and the dreams you can achieve and what you can accomplish. And real estate is just the way that you can get all of that done. So I wanted that dream, and I kept going for it. And I've had highs and lows over the course of my career, but never gave up.
Yeah. What did you do prior or during real estate, in addition to, because, you know, a lot of realtors, myself included, you know, when we first start, it's not just full on, let's go and sales and door knock and whatever it is. Like I still have a career, right? I still have to pay my bills or whatever it is, right? So where did you transition from?
So quite honestly, I think one of the reasons why my career didn't just take off and launch like it should have in the very beginning, and for anyone that has had that same situation, if you're doing real estate part-time, it can be done. But then if you've ever read The One Thing, you have to do your one thing, and you have to put your total focus on that. So one of the things that has really changed for me in the last, I'd say since I came over to your market center, when you brought me in, is that I changed my focus, and you and Stephanie and Hallie and everybody really helped me with that. So it's really all about mindset.
Yeah, I love it. It's and you know, it's funny because it takes a minute to understand that, right, and commit to it, because it's a big commitment.
It is. So I wasn't afraid to door knock in the very beginning. I wasn't afraid to hold open houses. I just jumped right in. I did all of it from the beginning. So I had a mentor at my other office. Her name is Anita Rich. And she had been in real estate for a long time. And she said, "Just go over with this paperwork and have everything signed. It's just a contract." And I had a background in contracts and really wanted to do a good job. So I read everything over. So, you know, it's important to know your contracts, and it's important to know that you're really, people are really trusting you to care for them. And that's one of the things that has really, I think, set me apart from a lot of people, is I really do care about my clients. And, you know, Gary Keller says, just go out and see, you know, just go out and try and help one person today. Like, that's really what you have to do. It's not like, who am I going to close today? It's who can I really make a difference in their life today? And when you really change your mindset about that, and you start to focus in on, wow, I might be able to help somebody. I don't want them to fall into the wrong hands. Like, they should be with me. I can really help them. It changes the whole scope of what you want to do.
Where do you, you know, learned or developed that skill? Because, you know, a lot of people say like, yeah, I want to help people. I want to be successful. I'm on a mission. But were you always like that growing up? So, yeah.
A lot of that is my upbringing. You know, my father was in sales. He was an excellent salesperson, but his whole career was based on relationships. So, and my whole career outside of real estate was based on relationships. And I came into real estate, you know, you get caught up in, well, this is the right script, and what am I supposed to say to people? And what I really have started doing, especially since like I came here, like, so my mind shift was about coming to your office,
Sure.
is that I'm just feeling people. I try to just think about, well, I just met this person. It doesn't matter who they are. They can be a high net worth person. They can be somebody who's struggling to fix their credit. So what is going on in that person's life? And how can I help them achieve their dream?
Yeah, so that's that connection between you and whoever the person is, right? To be the ultimate level of service.
All about service.
Yeah. I think we first met doing Bold, right? I forgot how many years ago, right? But one of them. You've been consistent advocate of learning, right? Taking classes, courses, right? Can you share your approach about that? Why is it so important to you?
Well, it comes back to that personal growth again. So when you immerse yourself in something, even if you're not doing the activities or you're not quite ready to jump all the way in, if you just keep immersing yourself in the learning aspect of it, you're going to be a sponge, and all of that's going to develop over time. So, I've heard this said often, like you're not really fully entrenched in real estate until you've been in real estate for 5 years. So imagine you go to a 4-year college, you want a 4-year degree, and people come into real estate and they want a 4-year degree in 6 months. Well, it takes a lot longer than that.
Yes.
And many, many transactions to get the skills that you need to really be successful at this.
Share with us, you had maybe a few breakthroughs, I don't know, right? But you had one major breakthrough recently, right? Share with us.
Okay, are you speaking of the transaction or just my personal?
Both.
Okay.
Put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot. I don't mind being put on the spot.
Love it.
Thank you.
That's what we're here.
That's what we're here to learn and to really still develop. Like every time you get in front of people or you speak to people in an audience like this, I'm growing today, and I encourage any of you who are struggling or doing real estate part-time, or this is your dream to help your family, or whatever your big why is that you don't give up. And that even if it's a part-time situation, you carve out the 2 hours a day. All it is 2 hours. You have 2 hours to, we'll call it lead gen, but it's really 2 hours to develop your relationships, make stronger relationships and connections with people. So I came here through COVID. That could have been the perfect time to quit real estate. I mean, that's a good excuse. Well, I came over to this new office. It's COVID. I really can't do real estate. But instead of that, we were doing these morning mindset meetings over Zoom, and I was being encouraged to not quit and to not give up, and to really start shifting my mind again as to what I need to do, who do I need to be. And that was my breakthrough. I took Bold again with David Jones, and had what I would call it was a conflict where I always want everything fast. I want someone to call me fast. I want someone to text me fast. And sometimes I will get upset if someone doesn't do what I want. Mm-hmm. And so there was a situation, and I was coached through the situation, both with David and with Stephanie. And I came to some ahas about what I do in situations, and how can I be a better communicator? How can I, tone my, we'll call it the D in me down,
sure,
and make the I go higher, so that people actually want to sign up with what I'm trying to accomplish. Right. So that was a big lesson. And then there were lots of other lessons in being a captain on Bold. And then in that whole time frame, I met a client, an internet lead, took the internet lead from a lease into my largest closing ever, and probably a lot of people, it would have been anyone's largest closing ever.
Tell us about that experience, by the way, right? Because I want people also to understand that any lead is a good lead, right? Any relationship can lead to something very substantial if you come from a place of contribution. So take us back, right, to the very beginning of that specific story, because that's important, and that's a breakthrough as well, right? You're like everybody on this call, subscribe through our offices to Up City, right? Take it from there.
So I had this internet lead. They wanted a short-term lease. And the short-term lease was in Malibu. And, Malibu's out of my comfort zone. It's out of most people's comfort zone. Yet being in a house at the beach isn't really out of my comfort zone, but the experience was.
Sure.
So they wanted to see the property. They wanted to see it on Thanksgiving weekend. And most people would say, I'm not going to show a property on Thanksgiving weekend. It's a lease. But I said, no, this is a good opportunity. I want to take the client to see the property, and the other agent was working as well. So that was an aha for me. I'm not the only one interested in helping somebody over the weekend. This other agent wanted to help her client as well. So they toured the house. They wanted this short-term lease. And at the end of that day, the husband said, stay in touch with me. If I like it here, I may want to buy something. Well, ding, ding, ding. That was the key that I had to stay in touch with. How do you stay in touch with somebody that was clearly a high net worth individual? I wasn't going to put him on a regular drip or call him about, hi, are you ready to purchase? No, it had to be something special. So you really have to tailor your client experience to who you're working with.
Sure.
Whether it's somebody who has a lot of money or someone who doesn't have a lot of money, your message has to resonate with that person. And that's what Gary Keller has been saying a lot this last year. You have to put a gate around your database, because if you don't keep giving the right message to them, someone else can come in and take them.
Sure.
So I just came into contact, and I just asked them, is there anything you need? How's everything going? Is there anything else I can do for you? Short and sweet. And every time I asked, they said everything was going well and fantastic. And then when it became time for us to either renew that lease or for them to go on their way or whatever it was going to be, they raised their hand. They said they were looking to make a purchase.
And they raised their hand to their most trusted advisor, consultant, supporter, which was you.
Which was
the past whatever time frame. It wasn't even a year.
It was just a few months.
Mm-hmm.
They could have gone with anybody.
Right.
There, there's some prominent agents in that market. They could have gone with anybody, but they chose me.
Yeah.
The underdog at that point, because I had never sold anything in Malibu.
Yeah.
Anybody on the call that's listening, you can do anything. You can sell to anybody as long as you set your mind to it. And the biggest key to all of that was preparation. I started studying the market there. I knew every house. There was like 30 houses that they wanted on La Costa Beach, 30 properties. I knew everyone who owned the properties. I knew when everything had sold. And
so you also became the expert for that specific area immediately.
Immediately.
Right.
And I had it all memorized. Now, not everyone has a photographic memory like me, but you can still have all your paperwork. And I kept, paperwork. I kept studying it. And so I became a master of that area. And when there were some other agents that we made some offers on some things, and they tried to tell me the house was worth a lot more than it was. No, I knew the comps, I knew the conditions, I knew everything about the area.
Yeah, which is a key, right? So you can become the expert of whatever area just based on stats. You just have to be a student and absorb all the information, and then you have all the facts.
Then you have all the facts. Once you have all the facts, and you can just speak to one or two houses even. Oh, the house on the corner sold for, 600,000. The one over here sold for 8. And why did one sell for more than the other?
Yeah. And you guys closed a successful transaction that was back in May or June?
It was June.
In June, right? For like a nice little house in Malibu.
It was a nice, very nice transaction.
Yeah. Nice little house.
Nice little expensive house.
Yeah. And that was from just a cold, we call it warm leads, but just random person through the app that you connected, like, I'm going to pick it up, right?
And don't let anybody ever dissuade you from trying to help them. I want to see this house right away. Okay, well, how can I help you with that? You don't ever let somebody take you off guard. You never know who you're going to meet on the other end of the phone.
And you have a new listing coming up soon also?
I have a new listing coming up. It's in Agoura Hills. We're going to come on market at 2.5 million. And it's close to 5,000 square feet, 5-bedroom, 5-bath, and really excited about that one too.
You get the whole pitch, right? What do you have? What do you need? That's awesome, right? So Whoever is listening right now, and people, all of us always have this moment in life, right, or period of times that we're not even understanding that we're in that situation, that we get stuck for a second, right? And like looking for the breakthrough, like how can I get over that place I'm in at this point?
Yeah.
What would you, from your recent experience and success and mindset and that enthusiasm that you have, what can you share with us? Like, what would you tell yourself looking backwards or to us today? What would you focus on to like, hey, just you can do it? Yeah.
The key is if you're in the wrong environment, and that could be at home or in your other job you might have if you're coming in part-time, if you're new, is that don't listen to anybody else. Don't let anybody else tell you can't do it. I had a lot of naysayers in my life, and people who, they may not have even said it, but you can tell when someone's, they're not going to make it in real estate. You're too busy doing something else. Why don't you just stick to this? You might even be saying that to yourself. I said it to myself, but then I said, no, I want this too much. And it wasn't just about wanting to be in real estate. I wanted to have that personal growth. So I just kept at it. I kept, there's so much you can get from Keller Williams. And at this office, oh my God, you can tune in at any time of day, almost at night, with your recordings and everything. I mean, you can really feed yourself. So it's about feeding yourself. Don't feed yourself with self-doubt. Keep feeding yourself with anything you can get your hands on. If you just go to the Keller Williams library, especially our library here or Keller Williams International, right, you will hear something that says to you, that it'll say to you, I'm not giving up this time. Don't let anything hold you back. I had a lot of setbacks, personal setbacks. I had deaths that could have knocked someone on their backside, which it did. I had some financial challenges, which would have knocked someone else on their backside.
Yeah.
I just kept plowing away. I'll get through that one. I'll get through that one. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep going. And who you have next to you matters. Who you're in business with matters. That they say the 5 people closest to you, all of those people matter. And if someone's doing something to stop you, just cut them out. Even if it's temporary, just cut that voice out. Even if it's your own, cut it off. And keep thinking about what you want to accomplish.
I love that. Cut them off even temporarily, right? And do you tend sometimes to go too much into your own head? Like,
all the time.
All the time, right? That's a DC.
Yeah.
Take the disc if you don't know what it means. So how do you overcome that fear or hesitation? Or maybe overly self-judgment, criticism,
all of it, and
then take action. What's going on over there?
So instead of doing that DC thing, which is hyper analyze, that's why I'm good with analyzing the stats, because that's exciting. Look at all these numbers, and I'm not even a mathematician side. My sister's the scientist, and she's got all that. Right. But I decided that I also have an I in me. So I focused on the I. Who am I? Who do I need to show up and be to make somebody like me? I mean, there's a lot of people that like a DC, right? You might be able to geek out together on stuff and the technology and whatever. But most people, they just want to feel good. You want to make them feel good. So that's something that I've always had inside of myself. I've always been a good friend. I've always been a good listener. So I took those pieces of myself and I said, I'm going to be that Faryl. I don't have to always be analyzing everything. And in life, if it's not something I want to do to perfection, which is the DC, and I just show up, then things always happen. So that's what I encourage you all to do. Get your disc and figure out who you are, and then figure out the elements of who you really are internally, who you really, why does someone really love you? Is it because you analyze things? No. It's because you care. So I decided to shift back into who am I really? I really am a caring person.
Yeah.
And that's what I show up as with the clients. Then if they need my C, then I pull it out.
Then you can resonate with all different types of personality, which is also a skill that you're I say in real estate and sales, right? You have to have. And you can perfect it just by experience. And of course, as you mentioned, beautifully, you need to learn yourself first, right? And we give all those tools as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the mirroring matching of the person you're speaking to. So if someone's hesitant and timid, then you're not going to start hammering away at them with facts and figures. You're going to try to get to understand what they want. And you might have a husband who's like, just give me the bottom line. You have to talk to both people at the same time. So you can't always, even in a conversation with two people, you might have to be two people. Over here you're like this, and over here you're like this. So you have to really, it is a skill, but I came from sales. I came from a sales background.
Mhm.
I didn't even know that I had a lot of the skills I have.
Mhm.
They're just inside of me because of just years of talking, years
Sure.
of being in front of people and trying to figure out how I could help them.
Yeah, until you really learn your strengths, and then you focus on them, or just can be like more, versatile, right? In that sense.
Mhm.
So where is the head right now? Where are we gonna see Faryl? We're gonna have the same conversation a year from today. What happened?
Oh boy. There's so many things I would like to accomplish still. So maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I went through this transformation workshop, and they yelled at you, what do you want? What do you want? And what came out then is I really wanted the 7-level team. I really wanted
Mhm.
the MREA dream.
Mhm.
So the things I want to accomplish this year are to do the hires, to leverage my time, whether that be in or outside of real estate, to leverage what I do and hire people to help me develop and grow a team. So, I'm big in the MREA, so I'm gonna hire somebody at least part-time as an assistant and, take all the paperwork off my desk and have a TC take care of that. And then I will
Mhm.
develop a listing inventory again. I did it before. I was thinking about it last night. The first time I went through Bold and I got on the phone cold calling.
Yeah.
I had like 4 listings.
There
And
you go.
so I just have to do the right things. I have to take the other stuff off my plate. So all I need to do is be on the phone. And then I'll have the listings and then everything else from there will develop.
You see, she didn't say, I want to have this kind of a car, that kind of a house, I want to go this vacation over there. It's about the self-achievement, right? Like to grow as a person.
Mhm.
And what I hear as well is 3 things, right? In addition, I hear she's going to teach MRA classes in the near future. Okay.
I love to teach actually.
Yeah, you're great at it. I heard that Faryl is looking to hire for a future team, right? Which can be, as soon as tomorrow. And you're going to help a lot of other people to reach out to their potential as well.
Absolutely. Because when you teach, then you learn. When you help somebody else
In your
up,
business, yeah.
then you keep developing. So it's just a great opportunity. And a lot of people say, well, what's your why? What's your why?
Mhm.
And my why, when I started in real estate was about taking care of other people. And my whole life, I've taken care of all these people and don't mind doing it. There's still people that will be in my stable that I take care of.
Mhm.
But my big why is the personal growth.
Yes.
It has to be. I put it off for too long, helping others. So now it's time for me to really, really shine and really do the things I want to accomplish.
I love that. And I totally resonate with that because I do believe that we have to be, I'm going to use a very specific word, but just for them to make that point, you have to be selfish with a purpose, right? Or selfish to the benefit of others.
Yes.
And if you cannot, really empower yourself to greatness, then how can you really help others in higher purpose? And I can tell your energy, right? Your dynamic right now, your enthusiasm, your hunger it's not about success. Success will come with it. It's about fulfilling your true potential.
Absolutely.
And that's we feed from that kind of energy. So it's beautiful.
It's exciting.
Yes, it is.
So I really have to thank you too, because I don't think I'd be where I am today if you didn't take me in at the time when I came to you.
Well, you insisted. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, it's easy. We meet with so many people, and it's not about hey, how much did you make last year? And no, it's about the person, right? And you can tell right away if the person has that integrity that you lead by integrity. So it's very easy to connect with that because you come in from a place of I really want to make it happen,
Yes.
right? Not just for myself, also like to make it a success. And I think that combination is buy into that kind of, I trust you, trust, right? So it's not easy to build trust with people. So that was easy, and of course, if you know Faryl, right, we had to disconnect the last year and a half. People didn't come to the office as much, etc. But your contribution to our community is as great as what we've given you, right?
Thank you.
And that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else do you want to tell us? What kind of message do you want to share?
Well, I just think it's a great time to be where we all are here in real estate. It's just, there's so much opportunity. Even though they say, oh, inventories, you can't find listings, you can't find the buyer, the perfect house. But I don't think there's ever been a better time to either start your career or take your career to the next level than we have right now in this time. So don't let up. A lot of agents will say, oh, it's October's around the corner, I'm gonna go into hiatus. Don't go into hiatus. Don't just give up and say, I'm gonna make my plans for next year. Keep plugging away, make the cold calls, do the door knocking, do all of the things that are uncomfortable. Make yourself as uncomfortable as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I am making myself every day more and more uncomfortable, and it's the only way I'm going to have the breakthroughs that I'm going to develop and become the person that you're going to interview next year. So
define uncomfortable for us.
The thing that you're most afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go door knocking? Don't just say I'm not going. Find somebody and take them with you. Just start developing the habits one day at a time. Okay, I don't really want to be on the phone this morning, which is my big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to be on the phone. Every time I pick up the phone and I spend an hour on the phone, I make contacts. And then those contacts turn into leads. And then eventually, if I follow up the right way, then they will turn into listings. So, start building your database, or as Gary Keller calls it now, your data bank,
Mm-hmm.
and put everybody in. Don't leave your family and friends out. These are the mistakes I made. Oh, I don't want to market to my family and friends. They already know I'm in real estate. I don't want to bother them. Bother them. People need to hear who you are and what you're doing. If it's not on social media, there's reasons I'm on and off social media, which are personal reasons, but many, and I even talked this morning, I'm going to be, doing some more social media stuff again. But do the things that you're being told to do. Don't say, oh, that's for somebody else, that's for another market. No, just do one thing and start doing it. If it's the phone calls, get on the phone and do an hour, take a break, do an hour, take a break. That's all you need to do every single day, 5 days a week, or you can even do it 6 days a week, and then take time for yourself too. So don't just be a machine all the time. You have to take breaks.
Mm-hmm.
and do, even if it's something small, walk, a hike,
Mm-hmm.
Shopping, whatever it is that makes you happy, you have to integrate those things in as well to be a well-rounded person.
Yeah, and you're kind of pinpoint, like the consistency, tenacity, law of attraction, right? When you focus on expense.
Yes.
So all those things that you put your money into it, but it's also and I can sense it in high level, is the level of commitment, right? Like you're on a mission right now, and when a person focuses on the mission more than anything else, then that becomes a pure purpose, and what will make you unstoppable in that sense, as long as you're going to continue doing that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Find what you do well and do that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So my one thing that I know that I can get business is from the phones, from cold business. A lot of people don't do cold business, but there's something exciting about that. So you have to create an environment that will make you want to do that. And I have two friends, they're commercial agents,
Mm-hmm.
Michael and Tony, and they really they still encourage me, and they call me sniper, because they heard me on the phone. So they're not around, I have to you can still connect with that, but it has to come from within you. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you to sit down and make the calls. Don't wait for somebody else to encourage you, but find the people in your life that are gonna, pat you on the back and say, good job, good job, sniper, good job, Faryl. These are the things you need to do.
Right.
And it's not about, don't focus on the outcome, just focus on the activities that will make you successful. And don't give up. These are the things that happen to me. Stop, start, stop, start.
Just keep at it.
going. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have any challenging client or lead or challenges at all, and overall to reach out or hesitation, give Faryl a call. You guys can team up on that, and she can coach you and show you how it's being done as well. And I would say, you mentioned a few times environment matters, right? Show up to the offices wherever you are. We have a bunch of offices over here that different areas. Show up to the environment, and don't be afraid for even people to listen to what you say, how you say. Do it with someone, because we're not secret agents, right?
Exactly. Now that things have opened up, I would love to do some cold calling with other agents. Bring them into the office in the afternoon and sit here in the room, and just when you're on the phone at the same time, it's like that energy.
Yes.
It makes a big difference. Oh, I got a lead, or that was a good conversation. Listening to somebody else on the phone and how easy it is, or someone yells at you and you just laugh it off. Right. It's okay. That person didn't want to talk to me today. That's okay. You just keep going.
Yeah, today. Maybe tomorrow. Beautiful said. Faryl, I can't thank you enough. This is always like a teaser. We can keep talking for hours, but we're really proud of you, of your success and the person you are, and the inspiration that you give to so many other people out there. Just keep it up. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Manny.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks everybody for being here as well, taking the time and enjoying Faryl.